Hello, everyone. Today, we are talking about getting affordable legal cover with award-winning expert Terry Moore from Legal Shield in Georgia. He's an expert in his field and describes himself as the hottest disability entrepreneur in USA. We will cover areas on protecting your business in the States and also give you a few tips so that you can focus on important things in your life and in your business. Above all, we will be sharing his journey on cerebral palsy and breaking all barriers. So, Terry, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Terry, before we dive into that subject, you have a very good record in the music industry. So you just want to walk us through that part for about a few minutes, and then we can take it from there.
Okay, absolutely. So I actually started my music career in 1986, actually by a fluke. It was sort of accidentally because I had just got fired from one of my first major job working in corporate America. And I got fired after 2 years. So I was sort of at a crossroad. I was sitting home one evening watching the American Music Awards, and Prince came on and performed. And I just remember him having so much fun performing. And I said to myself at that moment, I said, wow, I want to get paid for having fun. And I want to do what he's doing. I want to be in the music industry. And that was my journey. I started looking into different ways to get into the industry. I started out working in recording studios. I was very honored working for free in recording studios. I got a chance to work with Yoko Ono, work with Roy Ayers, a couple other people. Then I moved on to Billboard magazine. Got a chance to meet the Bee Gees, Layla Ali, May Ali, which was Muhammad Ali's daughter, who was an artist, and just a bunch of different people working in that capacity. And then I went on and started working for a record label called First Priority Music. We were distributed by Atlantic Records, but that gave me the opportunity to not only work with, but become friends with Puffy and Will Smith and MC Lyte and Queen Latifah and a whole host of people. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey, and it hasn't slowed down since.
Fantastic. What would you kind of say to people who are listening onto this session right now?
You got to have, in the music industry, you got to have thick skin. You got to be able to put up with the on-the-go lifestyle, because I was constantly on the move. I was days 2 or 3 days I didn't sleep, on video shoots, on tour buses, backstage at concerts, industry parties to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you have to be really able to have that lifestyle to be nonstop.
Wow. And what's been the most impactful event of your life when you talk about your music industry?
Oh, wow, there's so many. I would probably say one that comes to mind was actually hanging out with Tupac.
Okay.
So the night that his movie Juice came out, he was in New York City with Digital Underground, actually. And we were all taping episodes of Showtime at the Apollo Theater. So that was an amazing night, not only hanging out with him, but we had a break in between tapings, and me and a few guys, DJ K-Rock, Big Born, Master T, part of MC Lyte's crew, we actually went to see the movie Juice that night, came back, and I remember telling him how great he was in the movie, and that was, just to see his ride was unbelievable.
Fantastic. And so tell me how you suffer from cerebral palsy. You've kind of broken so many barriers in your life. What are some of the barriers you broke? And what are some of the kind of you use this as a platform also to help other people suffering from cerebral palsy. So just help everyone else on this call understand what you've done so far.
Well, to be honest with you, I used it as my motivation, because I just really felt like if everybody else can do it, able-bodied people can do it, then disabled-bodied people can do it as well. So I looked a lot to the people that was around me that didn't cuddle me and coddle me. They pushed me out there, whether it was family members or friends. They always encouraged me to go after what I wanted to. And so I learned a lot about just who I was as a person And one thing you'll notice when you talk to people, majority of people that are disabled, we wouldn't trade it in for the world because it builds character with us. And somebody come and say, "Hey, I've got a magic potion that will make you able by," like, "No, I don't want it. I'm good. I'm good."
Fantastic. And in coaching, what I do is we talk about mindset and how important it is to be resilient. So when it comes to your mindset, what has it done for you? I mean, what's your typical mindset right now?
My mindset has always been I can do anything I want to. My mindset has always been to be persistent. My mindset has always been to be a fighter, to really push forward. And my thing is, someone says to me, "Can you build this wall in a house?" I have no idea how to build a wall, but I'll be, "Oh yeah, yeah, I can build it," and then I'll figure it out along the way. So,
fantastic. And you never give up. You never give up on your dreams and goals. Also, I've heard that you know a number of different languages. So how many languages do you know, and what languages are those?
I'm definitely not fluent, but I've been teaching myself French, know a little bit of French, Spanish. I just started studying Japanese and on and off for years Russian, and even a little bit of sign language. So I'm not fluent by all means, but I can say hello, I can say goodbye, stuff like that.
Oh, fantastic. And now, just moving on to, you've won a few awards. I know you went to Maui recently, earlier this year. So just talk about Legal Shield and, the background about that company and how you'll help small businesses in US.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield, and I get to work from home with the business by introducing small business owners to affordable legal access. The way Legal Shield actually started was the gentleman by the name of Harlan Stonecipher back in the mid-'60s got into a car accident. Right. Now, he wasn't at fault. The young lady that hit him, she was at fault, but she turned around and sued him. And he had to scramble for some type of legal access. And it cost him a lot of money just to defend himself. So he started to think, how come there's nothing out there where people could have affordable legal access for certain situations like this? And he created what was called prepaid legal. Right. And prepaid legal years later turned into Legal Shield, mainly because there was a gentleman in New York, Brooklyn, Louima Abner, I believe that's his name, but he was actually assaulted physically and sexually by the police department. It was really big news, and Mr. Stonecipher said if he had 24/7 access, maybe we could have prevented this. So he created 24/7 access where you can contact an attorney 2:00 in the morning, and that product at the time was called Legal Shield, and then Legal Shield just became the whole brand and the rebranding effort. So that's what we do, and we help small business owners be able to pick up the phone, contact an attorney without ever worrying about how much it's going to cost when they get off that phone call, and other things that we do as well.
Excellent. And how many franchises, how many partners do you all have within Legal Shield, and how many businesses are catered to across USA?
Well, in the United States, we have over 4 million customers.
Wow. Okay.
About 140,000 small business owners across the country. And we have literally about 30,000 people in the Legal Shield business that are doing the business all across the United States, as well as in Canada as well. So some people do it on a part-time basis. In fact, the majority of people that do Legal Shield, they have a full-time job. They do it on a part-time basis for extra money, but then we have some people that have decided to make it a full-time career.
Okay, excellent. And when you're talking about Legal Shield for small businesses, right? Typically, when do you see small businesses approaching you to take cover?
Oh, you know what? That's a great question, because I just had a gentleman that I'm talking to now. He's got some type of car detailing business.
Right.
And apparently what's been happening is he's been doing the work for some customers, and the customers are now saying, "Oh, well, I'm not going to pay you. I don't like what you did." And so now he's like, what's my option? How do I get my money? And so we're talking about him sending election debt letters to those people and, possibly taking them to court, but him just being able to get on the phone with an attorney and say, hey, what can I do in this situation? Can people do this to me? Because this has happened more than one time. And I think it's becoming a pattern with a lot of his customers. So he was the perfect candidate for having some type of access to an attorney and not having to worry about it busting his budget.
Got it. And so when it comes to again small businesses, how do you all get your message out there? Because it's a fantastic model that you'll have. Obviously you all are well known across USA. How do you all go about educating other businesses that are not aware of this, or even not aware that they need to have insurance at the right level, right? So,
well, Legal Shield is based on a network marketing platform, so it's really the company leaves it up to the independent associate to get the word out. And the way I do that a lot is by social media, but also contact with family and friends. Hey, who do you know that's a small business owner? I may reach out to someone on social media who's a small business owner and say, hey, listen, I've got a service you might be interested in. Can I share the information with you and let them see it? And basically, a lot of times they'll look at the information, they'll come back to me and they'll say, hey, I never heard of it. I need this for my business, and I can get them started.
Great, excellent. And what's your favorite platform for getting your message out there?
Oh, wow, probably Facebook.
Okay.
It's definitely, because I've been on Facebook for more than 10 years. I've got a great group of friends and family members on Facebook that support me. So a lot of times they'll see the information and they'll come to me and say, hey, what is Legal Shield and how does that work? And I said, well, let me send you some information. And so, yeah, Facebook works well for me. Instagram, I'm on as well, but I do a lot more business on Facebook.
Okay. And what are the different products and services you'll offer from Legal Shield?
Great question. We do Legal Shield for families and individuals. Mm-hmm. We also do Legal Shield for small businesses. We also do employee benefits. So a lot of my colleagues will go into a school or a company, mm-hmm. and they'll offer Legal Shield as an employee benefit. We also do identity theft for individuals as well as small business owners. And then we also offer gun owners a legal plan. Yeah. Somebody in the United States may have a gun that accidentally discharges. They're going to definitely need some type of legal representation. And then we also do for truck drivers a legal plan for them, as well as legal plans for Uber and Lyft drivers who are out there working every night and may need services when they get pulled over.
Okay. And what's the typical distribution you have seen across all these industries? Where do you see most of your clients coming from?
Most of my plans actually come from small business owners, mm-hmm. legal plans for family members, and then we also have something called the home-based business supplement. A small business plan may not be the perfect fit for someone that works from home.
You're right.
So they can get the legal plan for the family members, and they can add a home-based writer to their legal plan, and that covers them working from home, like a real estate agent or a graphic designer.
Got it. And what was the reason for your company taking you to Maui? What did you do?
Oh, wow. Maui was amazing. I need to get back to Maui, but just basically writing a couple of memberships a month and being what we call, in fact, I happen to have a shirt on, and this wasn't intended, but the Performance Club.
All right.
Which basically means that every month I hit a benchmark in the company. The company not only rewards me with extra bonuses and incentives and payments, but also one of those incentives and bonuses is being able to win a trip to Maui and Mexico and those different places.
Oh, great. And what's the record you have for next year that you want to break?
Yeah, we're all looking at Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So everybody's working toward that. It's amazing. I've got business partners. I got a gentleman on my team, actually, Mr. Alistair Edwards, who has been on 24 all expense paid trips since he's been with the company. He's been to Brazil, he's been to the Olympics, he's been to Iceland, he's been all over the place, and it's all been paid by the company.
Fantastic. Okay. Great stuff. And now coming to businesses, business owners that are located outside USA, outside Canada, but trading in USA? How can they utilize Legal Shield? Do they need Legal Shield, first of all?
Well, yeah, I believe everybody needs some type of legal access, whether you're a family member, or individual, or a small business owner. It just makes financial sense to be able to pick up the phone and have those questions answered. But and to answer your question in regards to people that are outside of the United States and Canada, as long as they are U.S. citizens,
Right.
they may be a U.S. citizen living in London or a U.S. citizen living in Mexico, but as long as they're a U.S. citizen with a social security number and an address that we can sort of put to their account, they can actually use the service. So I've got people on my membership that live in different countries. They were from the United States.
Right.
They can still call into the States if they have questions about something going on in the States.
Okay. And what's the USP, the unique selling point of Legal Shield?
Affordable legal access, more simpler. We are basically the Amazon of the legal services, Netflix of the legal services.
Right.
More and more people are realizing that they don't have to always argue with customer service department. They can basically say, hey, I'm calling my attorney and let the law firm deal with it. And I've got a gentleman who wind up actually getting a free motor, a free engine, mainly because his engine went out. He contacted his law firm. The law firm said, let's look into it. They contacted a dealership on his behalf. And because of a recall on his car, he wound up getting shipped from the dealership a brand new engine. They paid for the engine and the labor. And so all because he contacted his law firm just to ask for a second opinion.
Excellent. That's pretty good. Good result. And talk to me about those awards peeping out from your shoulder, over your shoulder. Okay.
Wow. I've got awards, thankfully, from so many different areas, some of them based on music. Some of them are actually some Legal Shield awards. But mainly the majority of even some awards from when I worked at Coca-Cola for about 8 years. I worked for the Coca-Cola company. So those are just different awards that I've accumulated over the last 10, 15 years that, you know, it sort of reminds me when the days get rough that I've got some gas in the engine I can still ride with.
Well, Terry, you're a fantastic individual. And talk to me, you're Cerebral Palsy, you are doing a lot over there to get the message out. And I'm pretty sure you said you were a member of one of the similar organizations. So just talk to me about that part of it.
Well, with cerebral palsy, when I was born, my mom had the German measles, and that affected the birth. And what it did was it limited my mobility as far as walking. So when I walk, I have a severe gait. Actually, when I was born, I used to stand on my toes and my knees were bent.
Okay.
And that made walking and keeping my balance very hard. But I wind up going to Shriners Hospital. And Shriners Hospitals all over the United States, they have different locations. But the one I went to was in Philadelphia. And what they wind up doing was they lengthen my hamstrings to bring my legs in, and they lengthen my heel cord to make my feet flatter. So that helped a little bit with my walking, but in regards to just getting around, it's, you know, it's a blessing because I'm able to at least drive and do everyday functions. But you know, my goal is to encourage and inspire people with my disability. I met a young man Sunday night, who was also disabled, and he's a comedian, and he has cerebral palsy. So it was great meeting him, and we were laughing and joking, and that was pretty cool.
Thanks. And you're a member of which non-profit organization when it comes to cerebral palsy?
Yeah, I'm actually on the board of directors for a nonprofit in Atlanta, Georgia called Showability. Showability is a great platform for people that are disabled, as well as people that are not disabled, that want to get on the stage and perform, whether they want to sing or play an instrument or recite poetry. We're giving majority of people that are disabled, a stage to shine and perform and share their talent. And Showability by Myrna Clayton is a phenomenal vehicle to do that.
Good. And what you got to do with Sinead O'Connor?
Oh wow, Sinead O'Connor. You know what was cool is that I was working with an artist by the name of MC Light
Right.
and Sinead O'Connor, and actually MC Light in a group called Audio 2, which had a hit record back in the late 80s called Top Billin'. And Sinead just loved Milk, who was one of the guys in the group.
Right.
She just like, she said that, I'm going to marry Milk. He used to tell us all the time, I'm going to marry Milk. And she wound up doing a song with MC Light, and I handled the publicity for that particular song, not realizing it was going to go gold or platinum. And it's actually on my wall right behind me. In fact, I'll turn the camera just a little. But the bottom album is Sinead O'Connor, and MC Light did a song called "Put Your Hands on Me," which went platinum.
Congratulations. Amazing, amazing stuff.
Yes, thank you.
And just as we wrap up this interview, what is one of the final messages that message you want to give to viewers, who have got cerebral palsy, and also then the other one is for business owners also?
Well, on both sides, I just like to encourage people not to quit. You can give up too soon. You can throw in the towel, and I'm not realizing that a day later your breakthrough was coming through. But definitely do not quit. Self-development is very important. I've got books to the side that I'm looking at right now. I'm constantly reading, whether it's Dale Carnegie or watching Eric Thomas on YouTube. But self-development is very important. Whether you have a disability, or you're a small business owner, you need that encouragement every once in a while. And the third thing I'm going to leave with people is write things down. I've got a notebook that I'm constantly writing things down because, I can't, I'm 57, I can't remember it all. And I like to be able to look at, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing next. Oh, okay, this is what I'm working on next. So definitely write things down, have a to-do list, set goals.
And do you have your own life journal that you write things down to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got a bunch of, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, those are very powerful messages, right? Never quit. And that's the hallmark of a winner. And that's what you are. Terry, great having you out here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. I appreciate you, sir.
Likewise. Thanks.